Carol Sloane, the jazz singer whose smoky tone, unmistakable taste and judicious flair earned her a reputation as a chosen interpreter of songbooks even during periods when widespread recognition eluded her, died Monday at a senior center in Stoneham, Massachusetts. She was 85 years old. The cause of death was complications from a stroke, her niece, Carol Bates, told WRTI. Sloane's career had equal parts good fortune and bad timing. She was born at the end of the big band era and was already starting to gain traction, releasing 2 albums on Columbia, appearing frequently on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show when rock and roll was turning the popular music market upside down. If Carol had been born 5 years earlier, argued critic Mark Myers, she undoubtedly would be as famous today as Carmen McRae, Chris Connor, and other singers who emerged in the rock-free early 1950s. She sang with an alto whose texture and register evoked comparisons to Sarah Vaughan. But Sloane was a less digressive stylist, preferring to trace the melody line of a song more or less precisely. This approach made her subtle variations in phrasing and intonation even more striking. Her main influences were Ella Fitzgerald, who was her early mentor, and McRae, who served as her mentor and was later the subject of the 1995 album For Concord, the songs Carmen sang. She didn't have any complaints, says WRTI's Bob Craig, who invited Sloane to his Voices in Jazz program twice, in 2010 and 2015. She always included these very subtle motifs. She had this soft flow with melody, and her song choices were always very tasteful. Craig will devote 1 hour of the show to Sloane this Sunday, extracting from their conversations and performing her music. Lance Kerwin, actor of The Mystery of Salem's Lot, dies at age 62. Actor Lance Kerwin, known in the U.S. for starring in the series James at 15, 1977-78, as a teenager, has died at age 62. We will always remember him as the boy star of one of the scariest horror films ever made for television, the 1979 Tobe Hooper-directed telefilm, The Mystery of Salem's Lot. Kerwin, who during the 1970s had specialized in acting work in TV movies, plays Mark, the schoolboy-turned-vampire hunter in the memorable adaptation of Stephen King's novel The Mystery of Salem's Lot. The scare he gets when he is at home and a classmate-turned-vampire appears in his window continues to nestle in the nightmares of many of the TV movie's viewers. A year earlier, Lance Kerwin had already been at the center of some controversy when his character in the series James at 15, a formative tale starring an Oregon teenager who moved to Boston, had lost his virginity to a Swedish exchange student, played by Kirsten Baker. Conservative sectors of society reacted against the sex act in the fiction, criticizing the mention of contraceptive measures and calling for the character to repent. Outside television, where Kerwin appeared in dozens of TV movies and episodes of series such as Wonder Woman, The Lonely Runner, The Bionic Woman, Hotel or A Crime Has Been Written, the actor also appeared in films such as Enemy of Mine, 1985, or Outbreak, 1995. The latter was his final screen appearance before retiring from acting and becoming a